two birds, and one cat. The cat was white. And the door, the front gate was black. We had two cars. We had two bedrooms, one wooden stairs, and one PC in first floor. And what else? We had a kitchen that was quite dirty.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Give him a round of applause. Thank you.
Very detailed.
Very detailed. Okay, can anyone remember everything what Ox said?
I think I can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
His cat is white.
The gate door is black.
The gate door is black. He has two bedrooms. One
Uh-huh.
is wooden floor, and the other one is PC.
One PC.
No, there's a PC downstairs.
Yeah, there's PC downstairs. And then his kitchen is dirty. There's one kitchen, and there are four people in the family.
Mm-hmm.
Two brothers.
Wow.
One mom and dad, and then he also got two birds.
Very good memory.
And two cars.
Okay, that's good enough. You are 100%. I can believe that you remember everything. Good job. Thank you, Toy. But we are doing this practice because even if we pay full attention to what he just said, sometimes we forget, and there are things we're missing, and sometimes we just understand in our own way. Sometimes we just draw our imagination in our head and interpret it different way. That happens. So that's why listening is so important. And this little exercise, I just did it. The purpose of doing it was it's really hard to remember everything and just interpret what just he said in the right correct order, right? Yeah. So this famous philosopher Aristotle says that wisdom is a reward you get for a lifetime of listening when you'd rather have been talking. That's how listening is really important. And the researchers, recently I've noticed that these two psychologists, Passmore and OD, they found out that there is 6 different levels of listening. I didn't even know there are so many different levels of listening. And the highest and the most deepest level of listening is active constructive listening. Active and constructive listening, and when I see this one first time, what's active and constructive listening? I can hear like active listening, okay, but then what does it mean by constructive listening? So constructive listening, active and constructive listening is like this. Of course you pay full attention. You are not just only paying a full attention to him. You are being present with the person, and also at the same time, you read the lines. You even see what's going on in between this person's mind. So when this person says something and her tone has been changed, you go like, oh, I noticed that your tone has changed. You seem very excited. What made you so excited? Something like this. Or if your Coach E says, I've done this task very successfully. I'm very proud of myself. And Coach E goes like, well done. All your hard work that you did last week paid off. You go like that. So on top of what the Coach E says, you build up and you make a constructive listening there. Okay? In your workout, please open the second seal. And on top of the second seal, there is a focus. And there's a little section where you can write something. So mark your active and constructive listening skills. Mark it out of 1 to 10. 10 as that you are doing the active and constructive listening. 1, you're ignoring everyone. Okay, so mark yourself. And please make a note. From now on, what we're gonna do to have an active constructive listening. Please take a moment and write your own. If you need a pen. Anyone? You have 1 more minute. More seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Can anyone share what you wrote in your seminar?
For me, I have
Mhm.
8.5.
8.5. You're
Yeah.
wow.
Mm.
Very nice.
Because personally, I think I don't talk much, so in general, I listen more.
I see.
Yeah, but what I need to work on is to pay more attention
Mhm.
and also to have some follow-up questions.
Yes,
as well.
yes. And for those who like to talk, person like me, I really like to talk. While I'm listening, I'm thinking of myself, what's the next thing that I want to talk about? And I don't pay attention to the other person. But person like you, Dean,
Yeah.
Dean is like who are more likely to listen, then it's very good to be a coach. Yeah, you have very good quality of being a coach. Who else?
I will let you know.
Not that I want to listen every time.
Anyone else to share?
I score myself 7.
Mhm.
So I'm more towards the extrovert kind
Oh,
of person.
okay.
I think pretty much like you.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of thought running
Uh-huh.
through my brain
Yes.
while I'm talking. So I think what I need to work on is try to be positive and
Mhm.
non judgmental
Yep.
when listening to other people. And most importantly, I need to catch or anticipate that feeling
Yes.
when
Yeah.
they're telling me something.
Empathizing, right? Yeah, very good. Oh, not empathize, empathy. Yeah, even an empathy. Okay, so that was focus. Anyone have any question? Can we go on to the next? Okay, the third behavior is explore. So you dig deeper to find out what the coach is finding hard about in this situation, and you clarify your understanding. Sometimes even though you are fully listening and you feel like you pay full attention and know everything, sometimes what you understood is different with what the coach E might say. So if that, in order to not happen that kind of situation, you clarify and you keep rephrasing. Not just keep rephrasing, but time to time, you kind of rephrasing or refer what if my understanding is correct. Is this what you are trying to say, or is my understanding correct? And you keep check if you two have a same understanding. And to be explored, you need to use a clarifying questions. We need to use a clarifying questions. So something like, can you be more specific? What does it look like when you do this? What do you mean by that? What I interpreted from that was, so you're interpreting again, just to check we are both on the same page, just so I'm totally clear, so you keep making your understanding is correct, and you clarifying it. Now, and all these questions, it just says there, it's an open question. Asking open question is very important. Compared to the closed question, the meaning of closed question is yes, no question, right? Compared to the closed question, what would be the benefit of asking the open question?
You understand it their way. You know what meaning they're giving to it.
Mm-hmm. And you can get more information, right? And
Or the right information.
all the right information, yeah.
Give them opportunity to speak their minds with their thought.
Yes, yes. And while they are saying it, they can also think about more, right? Yeah, yeah. And would be the benefit of asking open questions?
Make the conversation longer, not
Yeah.
just stop by yes, no
Mhm,
answer.
mhm, that's very good. So make the conversation longer. This my person finds out something that he didn't know before, right? And my previous work was I used to work at bank, and there we say if you can get 3 yes, you can make this client you can make this person as your client. So for example, do you take subway? Yes. Do you come this area often? Yes. Do you want to make this credit card which has a benefit of giving a transportation for free or something like that? Yes. So you kind of leading this person to have the situation that you might want to be. So the closed question can be a leading question. So it's not really beneficial to have a closed question when you are doing the coaching session, because you want that person to understand themselves and know by themselves what the person wants to be, not the way that you want that person to be. Okay? So right now, so here, this is all kind of a closed question. Did you find that very difficulty? Instead of that, we can use, how did you find that? So we're eliminating our bias. Was that really the best you can do? Instead of that, we can use, tell me how you felt that went. Do you think you should work on speaking more clearly? We have an assumption there. We feel like this person doesn't speak clearly, right? Instead of that, we can use, what do you think you should work on for next time? So these are the type of questions that we want to use during the coaching. Okay, so I want to do another little exercise here, and I want you to all stand up again. We're gonna make a line again, and we'll go by your favorite movie. Favorite movie, starting from A. The title of the movie starts from A to Z. Okay? Oh, you guys don't watch movies?
Yeah, mine's P.
Okay.
A.
P.
I didn't want to give you a hard time here.
D.
Proposal.
What's yours?
Okay.
Okay.
T.
Mine's F.
F.
S. T.
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
S.
Okay. T.
I'm D.
E.
Yeah? So what was your favorite movie?
So I have a few, but the one I love the most is Avenger. Yeah, I love superheroes.
Okay, so. What was yours?
Zoya.
Zoya? What's Zoya?
Zoya is the movie.
Mine.
Oh, it's a new movie.
Okay.
The luck factor
Let me
is the
check.
punchline. Go for it.
So,
Let's pick,
okay. So you two are your partners. You two, and you two are your new partners. So take a seat with me.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it. What did you want?
So yeah, okay.
See, nobody believes me. My God, what is it?
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where do we sit?
Whatever is left.
Okay.
Sure.
Oh,
Oh, well, let's do this. We don't have to sit. Let's all stand. Oh, we don't have to sit. It's hard to find a sit, right?
No, no,
No,
we
you
gotta
just-
see.
So here, with your partner, one person tells about your next holiday. Okay, one person talks about your next holiday, but you don't just tell it. If the other person asks an open question, then you tell them.
What question?
Open question instead of a closed question. Okay? So the other person can only listen when you are asking good open questions. All right?
I need to sit for this.
You need to do. Feel free to do. Rolly, feel free.
The other person only listen when I ask the good open question.
The other person only tells when you ask
The good open question.
questions. Yeah. And the topic is about your next holiday.
Yeah. But
Okay.
if I ask the wrong question, she can keep silent.
Yeah, or she doesn't have to answer it. Okay? Okay, got it? Everyone? Okay, did you decide who's going to do who? What? Who's going to tell the story of holiday?
Yeah, you?
I'll tell a story.
Okay?
I heard a story.
Okay?
You-
Okay? Okay? I'll give you 2 minutes for this. Let's start.
Okay, so my next holiday, as I'm still in probation period, so my travel will be yeah, so I just booked a ticket for Chiang Mai.
So 2 kids on the floor.
From 13 of January to 6th, I'm going to
Oh my God. Okay.
Two classes.
So why do you pick February for Chiang Mai?
So my probation period will over at the end of January.
Oh, it's like a celebration.
Yeah, so, and another thing is that
Okay, that's getting interesting.
Helping each other to combine.
not wanting to stay in Bangkok where all my friends
So,
are,
skiing.
like meeting everyone with the couple, I decided that I would go somewhere
We have some kids skiing.
Okay.
and the weather would still be fine in Bangkok. So I decided I will book a ticket. I did.
30 more seconds.
The hotel yet.
So,
Right.
my plan is actually to spend on the They
Is
go
there
on
any
golf trips
plan
and
you want to do there during the
So we have a
holiday?
white villa.
Wanted to go to
Nice.
Okay, interesting.
That's my favorite.
So they
10 seconds.
But they come from Korea.
But it's like a open
5,
Yeah.
4,
So we're very happy with free riders.
3,
you might get to know a lot of people, right?
and 1. Thank you everyone. You can take a seat now. Yes. You're allowed to sit. I love to sit too. Okay. So how was this activity? In what way?
Interesting to find out that how she planned her holiday.
Yep. Very good.
And yeah, I would love to hear more from her when she returns.
So you two had very exciting conversation there.
Where's it? You want to go?
Okay, so my plan for next holiday will be in February
Mhm.
during Valentine's weekend.
Oh.
So I'll go to Chiang Mai alone for the first time.
Chiang Mai
Wow.
alone.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Just book the ticket.
Wow. Were you able to tell her everything that you wanted to tell?
I could. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She asked us some of the questions.
She did.
She did. Like why?
Like, yeah, what did I plan to do? What did I wanted to do there?
Okay, so that was a very open question. You could tell a lot about from that question.
Yeah.
Right. What other question do you think you did a good question or you received a good question?
Well, I mean, of course, asking all the like how, what, and where, but also she said, can you tell me more about something?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of building on to what I've said
Right.
before.
Right. Yeah. Very good one. So for me, I like to use TAG. TAG is like T stands for tell me more. E stands for explain me. D stands for describe me more. So if you use those kind of words, you can actually bring whatever you want to bring out from the question. So that was the open question. And last part for me is the scaling. I don't like scaling. I'm just making joke out of it here because I don't want to go into the see my weight, so I don't like scaling. But in here, we have to love scaling because it visualizes what the coach is situation is. And here, when we are scaling, it's easier to build out what would be the next step that coach is supposed to take. So in the coaching conversation, like we said, it's very important to set the goal, but we have to figure out where we are going in order to set the goal. We don't want to know where we are at this moment. We have to figure out as is and to be. And using the scaling makes this one a lot easier. So from 1 to 10, think about the situation that you just talked about. Ask the coach E, what's your level right now? Like when we are doing the listening, we kind of marked ourselves, right? From 1 to 10, where you are. So like that, you ask your coach E. If the coach E says, I want to be improved on some particular area, on my presentation skill, for example, then you ask your coach E, mark yourself from 0 to 10. Where is your level of presentation skill? If she goes like 5, then what do you want to achieve? Call it again. I want to be at least 8. Then what makes that 3 steps? How can you make that 3 mark? How can you make it approved from 5 to 8? Let's make a specific goal for that. So that's how you can use the scaling. Okay. So in your handout, it also shows the scaling. So,
Which scaling, this one, right?
yeah, this one. Mark yourself how confident you are as a coach in here. Or yeah, let's put it like this. What's your current status as a coach? You learned about trust, focus, and explore. Think about these 3 behaviors and mark yourself as a coach. And also mark where you want to be after this performance coaching session, or your goal in a short period of time. What do you want to achieve? Okay, this handout will be yours anyway, so think about a little more deeper later on and think about yourself how you can achieve that and set the specific action plan how you can achieve that score. Okay? Yeah.
Okay.
And that's about it for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.